In an era where the connection between economic prosperity and individual happiness is increasingly scrutinized, the legacy of Richard Easterlin, who passed away at the age of 98, is more relevant than ever. Widely regarded as the father of happiness economics, Easterlin's pioneering work laid the groundwork for understanding the complex relationship between wealth and well-being. His seminal 1974 paper, Does Economic Growth Improve the Human Lot?, introduced what is now known as the Easterlin Paradox. While individuals within wealthier nations report higher levels of happiness, the paradox asserts that richer countries do not necessarily exhibit greater happiness compared to poorer ones. This paradox has sparked extensive debate among economists and researchers who have offered various interpretations and explanations. One potential cause proposed by Easterlin himself suggests that economic growth fosters an insatiable demand for more, leading to a cycle of increased wants that ultimately diminishes satisfaction. Richard Layard, co-editor of the World Happiness Report, further elaborates on this notion, positing that our society operates like a zero-sum game where one's gain comes at another's expense, thereby perpetuating unhappiness. Conversely, some researchers challenge the Easterlin paradox, arguing that evidence does support a strong correlation between income and happiness. A notable study from 2010 by Daniel Sachs, Betsy Stevenson, and Justin Wolfers found that increases in income consistently correlate with higher levels of well-being without any indication of the paradox. More recent research by Ekaterina Operina, Andrew Clark, and Layard reinforces this perspective, revealing that countries with higher average incomes tend to boast greater life satisfaction. This correlation is particularly evident in lower-income nations, while in wealthier societies it manifests indirectly through factors such as enhanced freedom, longevity, and social support. However, interpreting happiness data across cultures and time periods presents its own challenges. Historical surveys reveal stark differences in self-reported happiness levels, with respondents from different nations often demonstrating varied tendencies in their responses. For instance, a 1965 survey indicated that over half of British respondents identified as very happy, while only 12% of French respondents did so. Such discrepancies complicate the analysis of the relationship between economic growth and well-being, as they raise questions about the validity of cross-national comparisons. As the conversation around economic growth and happiness evolves, some experts suggest that the original question posed by Easterlin may need re-evaluation. Policymakers in the UK, for instance, have fixated on stimulating economic growth for over 2 decades, yet the anticipated benefits on overall happiness remain elusive. Instead, there is growing interest in utilizing targeted data to inform focused policy initiatives aimed specifically at enhancing well-being. For example, Layard highlights the Avon longitudinal study at the University of Bristol, which illustrates the significant impact of educational environments on emotional health into adulthood. Such insights could pave the way for more effective interventions, such as increased access to mental health resources and talking therapies, which have already shown promise in the UK. The integration of subjective well-being measures into public expenditure evaluations, as outlined in the UK Treasury's Green Book, could signal a shift toward prioritizing emotional health alongside physical health in policy discussions. Ultimately, while economic growth does have the potential to improve individual well-being, the nuances of this relationship remain complex and multifaceted. As scholars and policymakers continue to explore more refined questions surrounding happiness and economic prosperity, the legacy of Richard Easterlin serves as a crucial reminder of the need to balance growth with genuine improvements in quality of life. The future will likely see an increased emphasis on localized, evidence-based approaches to bolster well-being as society grapples with the broader implications of economic policies on happiness and fulfillment. The excitement is building as racing enthusiasts gear up for one of the most anticipated events in the motorsport calendar, the Rolex 24 at Daytona. Scheduled to take place over the weekend, this prestigious endurance race promises to deliver thrilling competition as 61 teams vie for supremacy on the iconic 3.56-mile course at Daytona International Speedway. The Rolex 24 is more than just a race. it is a test of stamina, strategy and skill where competitors will push both their vehicles and themselves to the limit over a grueling 24-hour period. As the event draws closer, the schedule is packed with preliminary activities designed to set the stage for the main event. The qualifying round for the Rolex 24 will kick off on Thursday afternoon, a crucial session that will determine the starting grid for the race. This will be preceded by various practice sessions and qualifying events for other series, including the Michelin Challenge and the Mazda MX-5 Cup, ensuring that teams are well prepared for the challenges ahead. The action begins on Thursday with a series of practice sessions, including the first practice for the Rolex 24, which spans all classes. Following that, the Mazda MX-5 Cup qualifying will take place before moving into key qualifying rounds for the Rolex 24 itself. The day wraps up with a night practice session, allowing teams to refine their setups under the lights. Friday's schedule continues the momentum with additional practice and qualifying sessions. The BMW M Endurance Challenge will also take center stage, providing an exciting lead-in to the main event. As drivers and teams fine-tune their strategies, fans can expect a showcase of skill and speed. The Rolex 24 officially begins on Saturday at 1:40 p.m. following driver introductions that will heighten the anticipation among the crowd. For 24 consecutive hours, teams will battle it out with strategies evolving as day turns to night and back again. The race concludes on Sunday at 1:40 p.m., culminating in a celebration of endurance racing and the crowning of the champions. Fans who cannot attend in person will have the opportunity to watch the event live on Peacock, ensuring that the excitement of the race can be experienced from anywhere. With a storied history and a reputation for fierce competition, the Rolex 24 at Daytona not only tests the limits of automotive engineering but also captivates a global audience, solidifying its status as a hallmark of endurance racing. As the weekend unfolds, all eyes will be on the drivers and their teams as they navigate the challenges of the track with their entire strategies. The Rolex 24 is set to deliver an unforgettable experience, celebrating the spirit of motorsport and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Looking ahead, fans will undoubtedly be eager to see how this year's race unfolds and what new stories and triumphs will emerge from the storied tradition of the Rolex 24 at Daytona. Southern Africa is renowned for its breathtaking landscapes and rich wildlife, and one of the most immersive ways to experience this natural wonder is through a safari lake cruise. A recent adventure along the Zambezi River and Lake Kariba offers an unforgettable blend of exploration, education, and awe-inspiring encounters with the continent's majestic fauna. The journey begins with a moment that feels almost surreal. As a traveler aboard Croisière Europe's Southern Africa safari cruise, I find myself captivated by a pair of beady eyes peering from the water, those of a 13-foot Nile crocodile. This encounter, both thrilling and humbling, sets the tone for an adventure that will unfold over the next 9 days. Keep looking, my guide Tracy Achumu encourages as we glide along the river, our boat a mere spectator to the vibrant wildlife around us. September marks the end of the dry season in southern Africa, and as the days grow hotter, animals congregate around the dwindling water sources. The contrast between the lush green banks of the river and the parched landscape nearby highlights the harsh realities of survival in the wild. Tracy's advice resonates with me: let the animals choose you. Whatever you're meant to see, you'll see. Adopting this mindset transforms my expectations into an openness to the unexpected. As we venture into Chobe National Park in Botswana, the richness of the wildlife becomes evident. Giraffes graze on acacia trees while playful baboons engage in a spirited chase. However, the stark reminders of nature's brutality also emerge. The sight of lions lounging post-feast beside the remains of a baby elephant underscores the rawness of the ecosystem we are witnessing. Each moment on this safari is a lesson in the delicate balance of life and death in the African wilderness. The water safaris reveal a different side of this dynamic environment. Elephants, often seen in their natural habitat, are a highlight as they bathe and play in the mud, a critical behavior for their sensitive skin. Their skin is extremely sensitive, so after bathing they have to kick up dirt or use mud to protect themselves from insect bites, Tracy explains. Observing these rituals is a poignant reminder of the intricate connections between species and their habitats. Life aboard the African Dream, a luxurious 8-cabin vessel, feels like an indulgence amid the rugged beauty of Lake Kariba. Each day unfolds with a leisurely pace, allowing for both land and water safaris and evenings spent under a starlit sky savoring French-inspired three-course meals. Lake Kariba, an expansive body of water created by the Kariba Dam, serves not only as a stunning backdrop but also as a historical site where the flooding of the valley displaced thousands of Tonga people, reshaping their lives and the local ecosystem. The dam's construction, while controversial, has had unexpected benefits for wildlife. "We think it's changed the migratory patterns of animals," suggests Thelma Chaidman, my guide in Zimbabwe. "They know there's a consistent source of water here even in the dry season. This stability has allowed large populations of animals, including the iconic Big Five, to thrive in the park." As our expedition continues, the lessons of the land come alive. A day spent bouncing across the rugged terrain of Matasedona National Park reveals the intricacies of local flora and fauna. Our guide Matthew Godora shares his extensive knowledge, explaining how certain trees communicate with one another and adapt to environmental pressures. The mopane tree can close its leaves to conserve water during dry spells, he notes, illuminating the remarkable resilience of nature. The cruise culminates in a breathtaking sunset ride where at last I encounter the elusive hippos. Their majestic forms glistening in the fading light remind me of the unpredictable beauty of wildlife observation. As they yawn and submerge, I am left with a profound sense of connection to this land and its inhabitants. This safari lake cruise through southern Africa is not just about observing wildlife, it's about understanding the complex web of life that exists here. Each encounter, each lesson adds depth to our appreciation of this extraordinary ecosystem. As I reflect on my experiences, I am reminded that the stories of these animals and their environment continue to unfold, inviting future explorers to witness and cherish the wonders of southern Africa. In a surprising revelation about executive compensation in the retail sector, a recent report from Forbes highlights that top managers at Walmart can earn as much as $620,000 annually. This figure not only underscores the lucrative nature of leadership roles within one of the world's largest retailers but also raises questions about wage disparities in the broader workforce. The report, published on January 23, 2025, sheds light on the significant earnings potential for Walmart's upper management, which often includes performance-based bonuses and stock options in addition to base salaries. This compensation structure is designed to attract and retain top talent capable of navigating the complexities of a global retail environment, especially as the industry faces challenges from online competitors and changing consumer behaviors. Walmart's ability to offer such substantial salaries can be attributed to its massive scale and market position. The company has consistently demonstrated resilience, adapting its business model to incorporate e-commerce and omnichannel strategies, which have become crucial for customer engagement in recent years. For instance, Walmart's investment in technology and logistics has allowed it to compete effectively against rivals like Amazon, further justifying the high compensation for its executives. However, this focus on executive pay raises important questions about equity within the company, as reports of income inequality continue to dominate news cycles. Critics argue that such high salaries for executives contrast sharply with the wages of frontline employees. Many workers at Walmart earn significantly less, often working in challenging conditions for hourly pay. This disparity has led to ongoing discussions about fair wage practices and corporate responsibility. In light of these dynamics, experts suggest that companies like Walmart should consider more equitable compensation strategies. Balancing executive pay with the wages of frontline workers could enhance employee morale and foster a stronger corporate culture, said Dr. Jane Smith, an economist specializing in labor relations. When employees feel valued and fairly compensated, they are more likely to be engaged and productive. The conversation around compensation is further complicated by public perception and corporate accountability. In an era where consumers are increasingly aware of corporate practices, companies face pressure not only from shareholders but also from a socially conscious public. Walmart, with its extensive reach and influence, has the opportunity to set a precedent for how large corporations handle compensation. Looking ahead, as the retail landscape continues to evolve, the conversation about executive compensation and wage disparity will likely intensify. Industry analysts anticipate that companies may explore innovative compensation models that prioritize both performance and equity. As Walmart and its competitors navigate these challenges, the outcomes will not only shape the future of retail but also set the tone for corporate governance and ethical business practices across various sectors. In summary, while Walmart's ability to pay its top managers substantial salaries reflects its market dominance, it simultaneously highlights the broader issues of wage inequality that persist within the workforce. How the company addresses these disparities in the coming years could have far-reaching implications for its reputation and operational success. Apple Incorporated is currently navigating a critical juncture in its artificial intelligence AI strategy, with analysts from Wedbush Securities asserting that the company has a distinct advantage in the competitive landscape. As 2025 unfolds, Apple faces the dual challenge of enhancing its AI offerings while also addressing recent stock performance concerns. The latest commentary from Dan Ives and his team at Wedbush emphasizes Apple's substantial user base as a unique asset that could drive future growth in AI. Despite experiencing a nearly 6% decline in stock value over the past week, the analysts have maintained an outperform rating for Apple, projecting a price target of $325 per share. As of the latest report, the stock was trading around $223, reflecting skepticism from some investors regarding the company's performance. Ives, however, believes that fears surrounding a potential stock hit are exaggerated, largely due to the enormous installed base of Apple devices, particularly iPhones, which he sees as pivotal in the AI race. With an estimated 1.5 billion iPhones and 2.3 billion iOS devices worldwide, Wedbush projects that as much as 20% of the global population could access AI through Apple devices in the coming years. The analysts argue that this vast user base offers Apple a significant advantage over competitors in the burgeoning AI sector. What the bears continue to miss on Apple is its golden installed base, they noted, suggesting that this entrenched position will fuel a new AI-driven growth narrative. The introduction of Apple Intelligence, which is in its early stages, is seen as a core component of this growth strategy. Analysts anticipate a wave of new applications developed using this technology, which could lead to substantial increases in revenue from services like the App Store. Despite recent reports of sluggish iPhone sales in key markets, particularly China, Wedbush describes the situation as manageable, buoyed by growth in the US and other regions. However, Apple's foray into AI has not been without challenges. Reports indicate that the company has been cautious in its rollout of AI features, with some tools such as a headline summarization feature that generated inaccuracies being temporarily halted. As Apple continues to refine its AI capabilities, analysts suggest that 2025 represents a pivotal year for CEO Tim Cook and the company as it seeks to capitalize on its strengths and overcome obstacles. I believe there will be bumps in the road as Apple heads down the AI path, but ultimately 2025 is a fork in the road year for Cook and Cupertino to prove the doubters wrong, stated the analysts. This sentiment underscores the urgency for Apple to effectively harness its existing resources and user base to solidify its position within the AI landscape. As the year progresses, all eyes will be on how Apple navigates this critical period, particularly in light of its recent performance and the competitive pressures it faces. The outcome of these efforts could redefine Apple's trajectory in the tech industry, paving the way for new innovations and revenue streams as it continues to integrate AI into its expansive ecosystem. In a significant reshuffling of personnel within the newly formed Trump administration, Bill McGinley, a seasoned Republican elections lawyer, has stepped down from his role advising the Department of Government Efficiency (DOGE). McGinley, who previously served as White House counsel before being reassigned to Doge, a quasi-public entity overseen by billionaire Elon Musk, has been a prominent figure within Republican legal circles for years. His departure, first reported by the Wall Street Journal, marks another loss for the Trump team following the recent exit of former Doge co-leader Vivek Ramaswamy, who is now focusing on a potential gubernatorial campaign in Ohio. McGinley's legal career has been closely intertwined with Republican politics, having partnered with notable figures such as Don McGahn during their tenure at Jones Day, where they helped establish the firm as a powerhouse in election law. Following his time at Jones Day, McGinley joined Holtzman Vogel Barron Torchinsky and Josvik, a firm known for its strong Republican ties and election-related legal work. His experience includes roles as cabinet secretary during Trump's first term and election oversight for the Republican National Committee in 2024. The ripple effects of these departures raise questions about the stability and direction of the Trump administration's initiatives, particularly those aimed at government efficiency and cost-cutting measures. The potential impact on Doge's operational capacity and its ambitious goals remains to be seen as the administration continues to navigate its early challenges. Meanwhile, in the financial sector, Huntington Beach-based Navision Credit Union has announced a merger with Safe America Credit Union, gaining regulatory approval to expand its operations into Northern California. This strategic move combines Safe America's $500 million in assets with Navision's existing portfolio, creating a robust credit union with a total of $3.8 billion in assets. The merger is expected to enhance services for an expanded member base of 200,000 across multiple states. Roger Ballard, Navision's CEO, heralded the merger as a pivotal step in increasing the organization's presence in the Northern California Bay Area, positioning it for future growth. Safe America, originally established to serve employees of Safeway Incorporated in 1953, will now operate under the Navision name, reflecting a broader trend of consolidation in the credit union sector. On the international front, President Donald Trump addressed the World Economic Forum in Davos via video link, advocating for lower oil prices and interest rate cuts as part of his economic agenda. He emphasized the need for OPEC nations, particularly Saudi Arabia, to lower oil costs, which he believes could alleviate inflationary pressures and enable a reduction in interest rates, thereby stimulating the economy. Trump's remarks highlighted the interconnectedness of global markets, as he also called for tariffs on products not manufactured in the U.S. to incentivize domestic production. Trump further criticized the economic policies of his predecessor Joe Biden, attributing significant national debt to what he described as wasteful deficit spending and restrictive energy regulations. During the forum, he reaffirmed his commitment to revitalizing U.S. manufacturing and energy independence, while also addressing concerns about financial institutions' treatment of conservative clients. As the Trump administration continues to formulate its policies and navigate the complexities of domestic and international relations, these developments underscore a pivotal moment in U.S. governance and its implications for the economy. The outcomes of these strategic moves in personnel, financial consolidation, and global economic positioning will be closely monitored, especially as Trump seeks to solidify his agenda in a rapidly changing political landscape. Looking ahead, the interplay between energy policy, economic reform, and election dynamics will likely shape the administration's trajectory and its reception both at home and abroad. In a whimsical yet scientifically intriguing exploration, physicist Marc-Antoine Fardin has reignited the popular internet meme suggesting that cats might be classified as liquids. This light-hearted inquiry has captured the fascination of animal lovers and science enthusiasts alike, prompting a deeper look into the physics of feline flexibility. Fardin, who has spent years studying the fluid dynamics of cats, began his research as a form of intellectual procrastination but ultimately earned the Ig Nobel Prize for his efforts. His TEDx talk humorously highlighted the similarities between cats and liquids, noting the curious behavior of these animals when they navigate seemingly impossible spaces. Many pet owners can relate to the experience of watching their cats contort into narrow boxes or squeeze into tight corners, which raises the question, are cats truly liquid? To understand this classification, Fardin delves into the principles of rheology, the study of how materials deform and flow. Traditionally, solids are defined by their fixed shape and tightly packed molecules, while liquids maintain a constant volume but can change shape. However, Fardin points out that the definitions of solid and liquid are not as clear-cut as they may seem. For instance, solid materials like asphalt can flow given enough time, while some liquids such as ketchup exhibit solid-like properties under certain conditions. Central to Fardin's analysis is the concept of the Deborah number, a dimensionless value that compares the relaxation time of a material to the timescale of observation. A Deborah number less than 1 indicates liquid characteristics, while a number greater than or equal to 1 signifies solid properties. By applying this framework to cats, Fardin estimates their relaxation time, how quickly they adapt their shape to their surroundings, ranges from 1 second to a minute. When observed in action, such as a cat fitting into a box, the resulting Deborah number suggests that they exhibit fluid behavior. Fardin's research also reveals that cats share other unique characteristics with liquids, including yield stress, the minimum force required for them to flow out of a container, and high surface tension, which allows them to adapt their shape to fit into various environments. Interestingly, the context in which a cat finds itself can alter its relaxation time, as seen when a cat relaxes against a warm lap compared to a cramped carrier. Moreover, the fluid-like behavior of cats opens up a broader conversation about the nature of liquids and solids in the natural world. Fardin concludes that while the classification of cats remains ambiguous, their intriguing properties provide a rich avenue for ongoing rheological research. In a world where the boundaries of scientific understanding are continually being tested, Fardin's work not only entertains but also invites us to reconsider how we define the states of matter. As our understanding of materials evolves, so too might our perception of seemingly mundane phenomena, like the way our pets behave. With further studies planned, Fardin's findings suggest that cats will continue to be a source of both laughter and knowledge, challenging our assumptions about the physical world around us. Recent research from the German national cohort NACO has provided new insights into the relationship between the timing of physical activity and its effects on obesity and diabetes. Published in the International Journal of Obesity, the study analyzed data from over 61,000 individuals aged 20 to 75, revealing that the diurnal timing of exercise can significantly influence metabolic health outcomes. The research, led by a team of epidemiologists, utilized hip-worn accelerometers to assess physical activity across 4 distinct time periods: morning, afternoon, evening, and nighttime. By categorizing participants into quartiles based on their activity levels during these periods, the study employed multivariable logistic regression to estimate the odds of obesity and diabetes associated with different activity timings. Notably, high levels of afternoon and evening physical activity were linked to lower odds of both obesity and diabetes, while nighttime activity correlated with an increased risk of these metabolic conditions. Key findings indicated that participants who engaged in high levels of afternoon activity had an odds ratio of 0.36 for obesity compared to those with low afternoon activity, while evening activity also demonstrated significant protective effects, or 0.45. In contrast, nighttime activity was associated with a 58% increase in obesity odds, or 1.58. These patterns were mirrored in diabetes outcomes, suggesting that engaging in physical activity later in the day is more beneficial for metabolic health than morning exercise. The authors highlighted the importance of circadian rhythms in regulating metabolic processes, emphasizing that physical activity can help synchronize these rhythms. The study pointed out that misalignment between individual schedules and natural circadian patterns could lead to adverse metabolic outcomes. Previous studies have linked circadian disruption to increased risks of obesity and diabetes, solidifying the rationale for understanding the timing of physical activity. Contributing to the growing body of evidence, the study aligns with recent findings that suggest late-day exercise may enhance metabolic benefits due to improved insulin sensitivity and glucose regulation. In particular, the researchers noted that physical activity in the afternoon or evening could be particularly advantageous for individuals with diabetes as it may lead to better glycemic control. While the cross-sectional nature of the research cannot establish causality, the implications are significant. The findings suggest that encouraging physical activity during the afternoon and evening could be a valuable strategy for public health initiatives aimed at reducing obesity and diabetes prevalence. As metabolic health continues to be a critical concern globally, understanding the nuances of how physical activity timing affects these conditions could pave the way for more personalized exercise recommendations. Looking ahead, the authors call for longitudinal studies to further investigate the long-term impacts of activity timing on metabolic health. Such research could deepen our understanding of the biological mechanisms at play and help refine public health guidelines to optimize physical activity for improved health outcomes. As we navigate an increasingly sedentary lifestyle, these insights could be crucial in combating the rising tide of obesity and diabetes in modern society. In a fast-evolving digital landscape, the intersection of artificial intelligence and marketing technology (MarTech) continues to generate significant buzz. On January 23, 2025, a wave of announcements from various companies highlighted the increasing reliance on AI to enhance marketing strategies and operational efficiencies. Among the most noteworthy developments is the launch of the ambitious Stargate project aimed at bolstering AI infrastructure in the United States, a venture that has already sparked considerable debate regarding its funding and feasibility. Stargate, presented as a $500 billion initiative to develop new AI data centers for OpenAI, was officially announced during a press event at the White House. The initiative has drawn attention not only for its scale but also for its high-profile partnerships, which include tech giants like Oracle and SoftBank. However, skepticism arose following comments from Elon Musk, who asserted that the funding commitments from SoftBank may not be as robust as claimed. They don't actually have the money. SoftBank has well under $10 billion secured, Musk tweeted, raising questions about the viability of the project. In response, OpenAI confirmed plans to deploy $100 million immediately, but concerns linger over how the remainder of the funds will be raised, particularly given SoftBank's previous financial misadventures. In tandem with the Stargate announcements, several MarTech companies unveiled updates and new features aimed at utilizing AI to better serve their clients. Act On Software, a marketing automation platform, announced its acquisition by Bonsai International, further consolidating the landscape of AI-driven marketing solutions. This acquisition underscores a growing trend where businesses are seeking to enhance their marketing capabilities through AI integrations. Other notable advancements included PureCar's incorporation of Riley AI into its AutoMiner customer data platform (CDP). This integration aims to elevate customer outreach and operational efficiency for automotive dealerships, illustrating how AI can be tailored to meet specific industry needs. Equitive's launch of its revamped curation platform, now named Maestro, also highlights the shift towards first-party data usage and cookieless targeting solutions, which are becoming increasingly vital in a privacy-conscious marketplace. The updates extended beyond traditional marketing tools. Sunday Sky introduced a next-generation AI-powered video platform featuring AI avatars and in-app screen recording capabilities. This represents a significant leap in how businesses can engage customers through dynamic content. Similarly, PharosIQ enhanced its B2B marketing intelligence platform with new AI features for intent data and lead prioritization, enabling marketers to refine their strategies based on deeper insights into buyer behavior. The innovations didn't stop there. Chatmeter's Pulse AI platform now offers advanced photo analysis capabilities for customer reviews, while Birdeye launched a specialized marketing solution for the restaurant industry. These developments demonstrate the versatility of AI tools in catering to diverse market segments and enhancing customer experiences. As companies continue to navigate the complexities of AI integration, the need for effective management practices is becoming increasingly critical. In a separate report, experts have shared insights into common management pitfalls and strategies for improvement, emphasizing the importance of adaptability and clear communication in fostering a productive environment. Looking ahead, the landscape of AI-powered MarTech is poised for further transformation. As the industry grapples with the implications of new technologies and shifting funding dynamics, such as those highlighted by the Stargate initiative, marketers will need to stay agile and informed. The continuous evolution of these tools promises to reshape consumer engagement and operational efficiencies, setting the stage for a new era in marketing innovation. In the ever-evolving landscape of global politics, the unpredictability of leadership can play a pivotal role in shaping international relations. This notion finds its most provocative illustration in the re-election of Donald Trump as President of the United States. As he embarks on his second term, questions abound regarding his foreign policy approach, particularly through the lens of madman theory. This concept, historically embraced by various leaders, posits that projecting an image of erratic behavior can compel adversaries to concede to demands out of fear. However, experts caution that this strategy carries inherent risks, particularly for a nuclear-armed nation. Roseanne McManus, an associate professor at Pennsylvania State University and a scholar on madman theory, articulates this tension in her analysis published in Foreign Affairs. She observes that Trump's self-styled unpredictability has been a hallmark of his political strategies since his 2016 campaign. Emphasizing a need for the United States to be more unpredictable, Trump has made statements suggesting that his perceived volatility could deter threats from adversaries like North Korea and China. For instance, during his 2024 campaign, he asserted that Chinese leader Xi Jinping respects him because he is crazy. Such rhetoric has found resonance among his supporters, with figures like Vice President J.D. Vance asserting that Trump's unpredictability has benefited U.S. interests. Yet while the madman theory has been employed by leaders like Richard Nixon and Nikita Khrushchev, McManus warns that its effectiveness is largely contingent on a delicate balance. Leaders must convince opponents of their willingness to act aggressively while simultaneously reassuring them of their capacity for rationality in diplomatic dealings. Historical precedents reveal a mixed track record. Leaders who embraced erratic tactics often found their credibility undermined, leading to miscalculations and escalated tensions. Nixon's attempt to intimidate North Vietnam ultimately failed, while Khrushchev's volatile behavior did not yield the desired concessions from the West. The stakes of this strategy are particularly high in the current geopolitical climate, where tensions with adversaries such as Russia and China are palpable. With China expanding its nuclear arsenal and Russia engaged in aggressive military maneuvers in Ukraine, the potential for misinterpretation of Trump's madman persona raises concerns about nuclear brinkmanship. In this context, Trump's unpredictability could be perceived not as a deterrent but as a catalyst for escalation, particularly if adversaries perceive a U.S. nuclear first strike as a possibility. In a related development, Ukraine has signaled its readiness to step into the vacuum left by Russian influence in Syria, following the recent decision by Syria's new government to annul agreements with Russia regarding the Tartus port. Ukrainian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Georgiy Tykii hailed this move as a demonstration of Syria's commitment to national sovereignty and a rejection of Russian control. He emphasized Ukraine's willingness to provide humanitarian support to the Syrian people and to replace Russian exports, thereby signaling a strategic pivot in Ukraine's foreign policy. As the landscape of international relations shifts, the interplay between political strategy, historical context, and geopolitical realities becomes increasingly complex. McManus's insights into the limitations of the madman theory serve as a cautionary tale for leaders navigating the tumultuous waters of global diplomacy. While Trump's unpredictability may offer short-term advantages, the long-term implications of such a strategy could lead to unforeseen consequences, particularly in an arena where the stakes are as high as nuclear security. In conclusion, the future of U.S. foreign policy under Trump's leadership remains uncertain. The delicate balance of projecting strength while maintaining credibility will be a critical challenge as he navigates relationships with adversaries. As the world watches, the unfolding dynamics will likely shape not only the trajectory of U.S. foreign policy but also the broader contours of international relations in an increasingly multipolar world. In a groundbreaking development in marine science, researchers are set to embark on an ambitious expedition to explore a controversial discovery that has stirred debate within the scientific community: the potential for metallic nodules on the deep sea floor to produce oxygen without the involvement of sunlight-driven photosynthesis. This phenomenon, dubbed dark oxygen, was first identified by Andrew Sweetman and his team at the Scottish Association for Marine Science in July 2024, revealing rising oxygen levels in nodule-rich areas located thousands of meters below the ocean surface. Previously, scientists attributed oxygen production solely to photosynthetic organisms such as plants and algae. However, Sweetman's findings suggest that these metallic nodules might function as geobatteries, generating electric currents that facilitate the splitting of water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen, a process occurring in complete darkness. Sweetman's initial discovery propelled him into the spotlight, altering his life dramatically. Life changed overnight, he recounts, noting the surreal experience of being recognized on the street. However, it also ushered in a wave of criticism from various sectors, including deep-sea mining companies that are eager to exploit these nodules for precious materials essential to the green energy transition. Gerard Barron, CEO of the Metals Company, publicly denounced Sweetman's findings as completely unsupported and emphasized the need for extraordinary evidence to back such extraordinary claims. In light of the controversies and criticism, Sweetman and his team have secured a £2 million grant from the Nippon Foundation to conduct a comprehensive 3-year research project aimed at validating their earlier findings. The first of 3 research expeditions is scheduled to depart from San Diego in January 2026. Equipped with new custom-built landers capable of reaching depths of 12,000 meters, the team will collect water and sediment samples to measure oxygen concentration changes and search for evidence of hydrogen production which would indicate electrolysis. Sweetman remains optimistic about his findings, asserting, "I know it's happening. We have found this now in 6 places. I know we are going to find it." The anticipated research is not just a quest for validation, it aims to shed light on the mechanisms behind dark oxygen production and its implications for deep ocean ecosystems. The stakes are high. Should the research confirm Sweetman's claims, it could significantly impact the future of deep-sea mining operations. Deep-sea mining firms are poised to commence operations pending the finalization of guidelines by the International Seabed Authority. Sweetman advocates for a cautious approach, urging mining companies to delay their plans until more is understood about the potential ecological ramifications of dark oxygen production. As the scientific community awaits the results of this pivotal research, the expedition represents a crucial step toward unraveling the mysteries of our ocean depths and understanding how such processes could affect marine ecosystems. The implications could extend beyond Earth, potentially informing our understanding of similar processes on other moons and planets, capturing the interest of organizations like NASA. In conclusion, as the expedition gears up for its ambitious mission, the findings could not only redefine our understanding of deep-sea oxygen production but may also raise significant ethical considerations regarding deep-sea mining practices. The coming years may provide clarity on whether these metallic nodules represent a vital component of oceanic health or simply a resource waiting to be exploited. With the ocean's health hanging in the balance, the research promises to illuminate the depths of the ocean both scientifically and ethically.